all the Mexican people I told you is walking just from my house. I could have somebody get on a motorcycle and send it to me. It's scary, man, how hard it is to lose weight in Korea. But you know, and most Koreans I find pretty low obesity rate. Let's just say.
I don't know how they do it. I think it's about the walking. They walk so much and ride all the transportation. Not like someone who rides taxi all the time.
Yeah, who would do that? Who would taxi all the time?
Only the guy with the beard. But let's go into the draft. It is going to be very similar, but not a Tracer band this time, and they're willing to let that through. Is it going to be Tracer Malfurion, as Feliz would love to pick those pair?
Yeah, I just do it again. Like, Garrosh is banned, so get the Malfurion instead. Like, I'm very behind Hanzo versus Genji right now. Both heroes were nerfed, obviously, but I feel like people are, in Korea especially, in Asia in general, looking at Eastern Clash. In this Eastern meta, people have gotten better at Hanzo, and I think his win rate is going to surpass Genji's at some point. If it hasn't already, because Genji was so heavily played. He was actually for a while like 2-9 or something like that, because people kept picking him into Uther. You can take the Uther Hanzo, you can take the Hanzo Malfurion. I think Hanzo Malfurion is better here. You have such a fast clear time. It's going to be Tracer though, so moving away from the Hanzo entirely. So this is not going to be as focused on the macro, which again has never been Feliz's strong suit. Going to be about picks, team fighting with the Tracer.
Let's see. I think they can still pick on Hanzo into this. BlossoM is. Tutu is a great Hanzo and Genji at the same time. Question is, who do you put on that Hanzo? I think Tutu's mostly going to go for that Genji.
Yeah, we've seen very few.
Modern can
like
flex
definitely play Hanzo.
You know, flex into anything.
I feel like we've seen very few Genji Hanzo comps in general. I wonder if this means, if they don't take it, I wonder if they'll just ban it. It's just so funny to see Hanzo banned in second phase. It almost never happens, but we'll have discussion going on about this one. Uther, I think, is the obvious pick. I think they're thinking about Tyrael, or whether they want to grab that second DPS right now. Tyrael, I think, is a given for the map. Wow.
Yes, go through that Uther. You don't need that. I think that really caught them off guard. Pick the ones that you need first, and then think about the other ones. Because Uther, if you want to ban it, that's fine. You can bring another support.
Well,
so far I do like what BlossoM is trying to do.
Yeah, I wonder now, do you ban the Uther, do you ban the Tyrael though? Tyrael is better for boss control, Uther's fantastic for the Genji, and also for Sonya and for ETC. Like, Uther pairs so well with all three of those. Gonna ban the Uther, which means Tyrael's still available, but Feliz can take it for themselves. Remember, it's the holy trinity in the new era, is the Tyrael, Tracer, Malfurion. It's their pick now. A Nubarak banned. If it's me, I pick the Tyrael here. It's going to give you a lot of boss control. We already saw what they could do when they had zoning control with the Twilight Dream. So, given how well Uther pairs with the composition of BlossoM, force them into a more desperate Rhaegar pick, I'd say. Grab the Tyrael here.
I think a new ban basically hints that BlossoM wants to take that Tyrael for the sanctification.
Not going to give him to him though.
A great steal away with the Tyrael, pairs up super well. All they have to do is pick up that Blaze at the end because Sonya's already taken. That's the perfect style. They have studied, they have upgraded their way of drafting. Feliz, they worked so hard on their draft. I can tell already in game 2.
It feels like a completely different team. It really does. I want to see BlossoM pick a Greymane here. At least one of either the Greymane or the Rhaegar. Could pick both theoretically, but their team fighting and their boss control is fairly non-existent with the comp they have right now. Obviously, ETC against normal comps, as Mosh is there, it gives them some boss control. Sonya has some boss control with Whirlwind and hers self-sustain. But without Tyrael and with Tyrael on the other side, with Malfurion on the other side, they need to control the macro aspects of this game. They have a strong solo laner, but I think they need more rotational play with Greymane Oh, wow, okay. Brightwing, that's going to give some macro control. But the Medivh coming through. Remember, we are not playing on the Phoenix patch or the future patches. We're playing on the Medivh Sonya rework patch, not the upcoming Chen nerf patch, the unannounced one, but the current Medivh and Sonya reworks. Brightwing going to give the global effect here, and Zeratul comes in on the other side now.
What?
To help counter that global presence, I suppose. But he's pretty weak against Medivh, I'd say.
Okay, they're willing to change. They have something in mind, something different in mind. Blaze, of course, seemed like the pick to go. Very comfortable, very easy. Just like in game 1, fifth pick, I thought it was guaranteed almost. But they are thinking of something else here, maybe trying to go in and harass onto Medivh a little bit when Medivh trying to portal in and out. Use that Void Prison to actually lock that time.
Well, I think Medivh is fantastic here with Polybomb, like in terms of boss control and how clumped up everyone on the side of Feliz is going to have to be in these team fights.
Mm-hmm.
They have Polymorph and Polybomb, so there's a lot of ways to really just destroy those boss fights, destroy those tribute fights in close quarters. So
I know Void Prison works well with either one of level 10 Junkrat Heroic, Riptire, and also the Rocket Ride. But Riptire, I'm guessing that's going to be it. Maybe if they want some wombo combo damage, because Brightwing does not really give any burst healing, and also Medivh can only protect one. If you trap down multiple members in that Void Prison, I think that can still work. Maybe that's the reason why they brought in Zeratul here.
I would love to see a Rocket Ride game, but I think Riptire still works well in this situation.
Yes, of course.
I'm just trying to think of like if there would be an argument for Rocket Ride for some of its split push potential, and there's a lot of things that you can do with that. Ooh, Poly into the power slide here. Frankel is caught. Okay, he gets away partially due to that zoning route there. Had he been caught with one more CC, like the face mount or something, hit him a different angle, he would have definitely died. Aimer gets away with this push. Will actually cost BlossoM 3 minions worth of soak. Can do a little bit more damage now to this cannon tower. Meanwhile, in the quote-unquote real solo lane over here, Sonya is dominating. And even though they didn't go for the gray main pick or the Rhaegar, Sonya can still camp early. Right at 1 minute, head over here, push the wave forward. Medivh goes up, takes the soak top with his Raven form, and then she could just come right back up. So Wiz will grab this, then head up. Pretty easy stuff here. Frankel, on the other hand, gonna take a little bit longer to finish this.
Little bit longer, yes. And of course, for the camp timing, BlossoM has the better end of heroes. Of course, Sonya can just go around, pick up those camps. It's going to be a lot easier as a timing, but if you think about, if you going back to Medivh, Poly may be needed when you're fighting for that tribute, but there is nothing to really stop on the other side. There's not like a mosh pit, and they have lots of utility so that the Polybomb cannot really spread out between all the members for Feliz. I think lane line could actually also, I think they will wait until the moment. If Void Prison is locked, then you can use that ley line to counter that exact same thing at the exact timing. I think that's what BlossoM is trying to use here. Of course, Zeratul was locked in later.
By the way, that feel when Tracer has such bad wave clear that she's pulse bombing the Siege Giants. That was not an accident, by the way. I like your line of reasoning here. Leyline Seal was kind of out of my mind for the most part because we've seen such a rise of Polybomb recently, and I think it's so strong against this comp. But yeah, you do make a good point. The Saint could kind of ruin that. Void Prison could ruin the setup for that. Let's wait and see. So that Wizard minion's going to get knocked over by that Mine. Great choice there of target to remove the spell armor here. Feliz is being out macroed at the moment and are struggling against this the camps here, top and mid. And while Zeratul is being shut down by the global bottom that he can't even out-rotate. It's a favorable tribute for Feliz, but even still, Modern Life is here first. And I think that Feliz will have to give this up, very likely. Mid-push, though. Very annoying for BlossoM at the moment. Yeah, a little bit late on that delay. Not the end of the world, but still pretty frustrating for Feliz.
And in the meantime, BlossoM had to do that as soon as possible. The bottom lane, too, of course, Brightwing can come into the fight, but this mid push was going to be very significant the longer they stayed there. So very glad for BlossoM to get that tribute.
This kind of feels like Feliz is showing that their play in terms of in terms of macro is pretty weak. Oh man, the gate absorbs that spike. That is so painful. Their rotational play is a little bit weak. It feels pretty glaring here in this 0-kill game that BlossoM has a massive lead in terms of structures right now. Now they're really going to feel the pain because they've been so laning a Tracer. There's a lane swap there. Sonya can leave. They can leave the global there. And it's like super horrible for Tracer who needs to be in that fight. And it's a favorable tribute position for BlossoM. So this is going to be curse point if they grab it. And for Feliz right now, pre-10, I don't see how they can force a fight and win it when they're being so heavily out-rotated.
Yes, they will be losing that macro fight. So, and even more if Aimer goes down, barely survives with the mine, but there's that portal to chase down the target. He's
Tracer
in a
is
good
coming.
position.
Tracer is coming here. OJ dies. Modern gets the Raven though. That's so unfortunate. Dudu gets pulsed. Perfect timing here on the shield though. Didn't even have to use his deflect. Concussive mine here to try to help disengage for Aimer, but it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. With all that damage coming out, Medivh still perished. But this is going to be a 1 tribute, and again, with the global, and with this leading to Curse Point, Feliz is really unhappy with this trade. It's a 2-for-2 on paper, I suppose, but in terms of the bigger, broader meaning, it definitely guarantees BlossoM 10 first and Curse.
Unless they had kills, so many kills that they would win, like have an entire team wipe or something, or at least 2 kills. It was going to be hard for them to catch up. Their wave clear is very slow. They're losing the macro because of the global presence of Brightwing. And also because of Brightwing, Zeratul is stuck in one lane, can't really gank into other lanes, try to do some harass or to get some kills. So Brightwing is actually doing more than his job right now, locking up Zeratul at the same time and also using that global soaking up extra EXP when they also have the better wave clear.
Yeah, that's a phase build too. So Sonya holds this Siege Giant cap. It's going to be Polybomb. Just saying, G-Clef, I'm like, you know, I'm 2-for-2.
Yeah, I know.
These...
Good job, Wolf. You can eat that pizza tonight.
I'm going to skip it. Well, they're going to look for a fight here pre-10 for Feliz. Liu is definitely going down here. But they saved the top cap to help guarantee the tribute. He's actually just delaying his own death timer at this point. They can just go grab this cap now, which is the opposite of where the tribute is, which pulls the attention away from Feliz. Oh man, he activated the poly here. That's the 3rd poly onto OJ. He has to go over the wall here. 10's up. Malfurion being dead here though for that extra death timer. Not gonna bode well for Feliz, who will now have to sit through this curse.
It's gonna be tough. They knew that they were going to lose before 10, and even after when they hit 10, they were losing members right before, so they lose Curse and they are super out macroed in this case. The worst thing that can happen to Feliz is happening right now in this game. They knew that they were going to be behind a little bit, but I don't think they were expecting a 3-0 Curse from the beginning.
Well, it's Narazim again for Zeratul, which goes against everything you and I were theory crafting about his potential in these fights. And it's the same Blink build. So, you know, a lot of utility lost, I think, from this. This Curse is going to get, it looks like, 1 fort, maybe 2. Sonya is at the top lane right now, so I think it will be total 2 forts. But it could have done better for BlossoM. What I'm curious about now is how Feliz looks to capitalize on this moment. Okay, they're going to look for a pick here onto Nasong, forcing out his Emerald Wind. Polybomb used as well. Okay, great mine there, though. Nasong goes down. Here's the Twilight Dream. They want ETC, waiting for that shield to go off there. Oh, it's barely going to be enough, I think. Yep, there's the Riptire kill. So 2 kills here. And now they can look for a boss play. The boss isn't timed with any specific objective, but it is going to be one way they can grab a fort, catch up in experience. I think what BlossoM should be looking to do is rush to their own boss right now. And had there been a Void Prison, I feel like Feliz might have been able to prevent this boss from being taken, but because they did not take that, Feliz can't gain as much from this boss because BlossoM is making the counterplay.
They will just do the counterplay. They're missing ETC, but they have more than enough damage. ETC can't really provide too much damage other than the tanking. They have right wing still, so they have to sustain, and Sonya doing so much more damage than what Tracer can do to a boss. I think that's... Even though Feliz started that boss like 10 seconds earlier, the timing is about the same between these two teams.
Yeah. I mean, Zeratul, like, got the watchtower and cleared bot, but otherwise, maybe if he had Void, he could have harassed the boss of BlossoM. They could have tried to go for the invade on their start blue boss, then go to red boss. There's a lot of things they could have done, which would have been riskier than what they did. But anyways, BlossoM made the perfect choice, rushed to their own boss, so the top boss that's threatening the top fort isn't even going to get it. And this boss is going to damage the keep wall, setting up for future pushes to damage the keep itself. And Feliz still hasn't been able to... They got 2 picks, but they haven't been able to take that 5v5 team fight their comp is supposed to be so strong with. And, you know, that's what we were touting as their biggest strength in this map. Cool holy ground there to stop Medivh's portal, but it's going to be a pretty even exchange. Red side tribute.
Still, BlossoM also has pretty powerful tool to carry that team fight. Of course, Mosh Pit, one of the biggest one. When Feliz dive in, there will be that Emerald win. And last time it was not enough to keep herself as right wing and also the teammates alive. But maybe enough when they are actually disengaging in the small choke points.
Alright, well, let's see how the play bomb is used, because that's the biggest tool here, I think, for BlossoM to look for a big engage. Okay, play bomb's used onto Nott already, actually. That's not how they wanted to use it. It didn't spread to anybody. Okay, as Franco gets out of here, this could be a huge opportunity. Good dodge there on the pulse bomb. Need to look for a Sank here. There it is, but it's not the one they want because the portal's there, allowing the retreat. Sank on top of BlossoM when the portal was already used would have been more ideal. So, pretty early sanctification, you could say. Okay, the stun coming down on the Tracer, looking to capitalize. Good holy ground to retreat. There's a lot of damage coming through here. Silence comes into Sonya. Here's the Riptire. This is an opportunity. Everyone very low on the side of BlossoM. But it doesn't look like it's going to be enough.
And there's that Mosh Pit to lock in, and Dude just slices in and out with that Genji. The perfect time. They stalled a lot. Zeratul lacks a few more auto attacks, and the Q could have actually got a kill on towards that back line. But BlossoM, it was not the ideal position for them to actually sustain for such a long time. But the usage of Portal actually delayed so much, aid soak up so much CC and damage from Feliz. How they executed in that small choke point was excellent right there.
The AoE protect as well, the protection that Genji has just by default with his deflect, really meant that a lot of the damage was mitigated and they couldn't finish off the kills. Like the Riptire was almost enough, Zeratul's damage was almost enough for the ability chose. You know, the Tracer's Pulse Bomb completely mitigated, but, you know, BlossoM now in a position to where they're looking to be on Curse Point again. Feliz, who, in theory, their biggest strength of their composition is going to be the team fighting. The biggest strength of this team is the team fighting, never the macro, never ever. With any of these 5 players, on any squad they've been a part of in the last 2-3 years. And, you know, they need to find those fights, or we're going to a game 3 with a 1-1 score.
BlossoM is really concerned about Zeratul. Even putting that poly down on the solo, that Zeratul was alone to the side. The best thing would be, of course, will be getting a kill. There's a power slide. Poly even confirmed, but the mine will actually keep him safe. What a play from Aimer.
Yeah, he's also got the Narazim, so he's got the second blink. Portal's on cooldown. Just no way to force a fight here at this position. On a boss, maybe. On a tribute, maybe. But at this place, where BlossoM is being hyper-aggressive and Polybomb is wasted, they still can't find the fight. Portal's wasted, still can't find the fight. Polybomb going to be up in 12 seconds, so very low cooldown. This tribute fight is one that Feliz has to take. They need to be going there yesterday to force a better positional advantage, to force that fight.
They will be hitting 16 really good zoning soon, but still not, so they can't really go in already because BlossoM would have been engaging before they hit 16. Now they do. And they're just soaking up some more.
I think he
Picking
needs
up
to
the
come
minion.
down. They need to really fight for this. This is super important right now.
He's down, but he's with the team. He has to be on the side.
Okay, OJ is the first target. Mine comes through. Modern drops out the polybomb. Does actually chain. Need to make sure it doesn't happen a third time, okay? We have Sank used already. OJ tossing out those shields. Wiz still surviving. Here comes the Dragon Blade. Riptire, though, gonna help displace. Mosh Pit completely interrupted, or actually didn't even use the Mosh Pit there. I thought he was actually about to toss it out. Did not get interrupted, but he gets killed before it could even come out. This is gonna be Feliz finally winning that team fight they've been looking for all game long. 4 kills here. This could be a double boss play. It's also going to be a free tribute.
What just happened? How is OJ still alive?
What happened with that Mosh? Did he simply just not use it because it didn't go on 10-second cooldown? That was an opportunity to maybe...
I think he was just trapped in a trap that Junkrat tossed into the bush right there. I think that's the why we thought we kind of saw the animation from HGC.
I think that makes sense now that you mentioned that. So I was wondering, like, it looked like he was going to try to mosh there, but it looked like a horrible mosh, and I was like, oh, mosh gets interrupted because the Riptire is coming out, but he just died. The mosh wasn't even used. This is one of the reasons, by the way, that in Korea, this map is falling out of favor and is actually banned a lot of the time now. Because if you win one team fight on this map, sometimes you could double boss, you can go to control, come back in a game where you were completely being outplayed the entirety of the early game, which is absolutely the case here. Feliz wins one fight, double boss, curse point, caught up in experience. It's crazy, wow, you know, the comeback potential on this map with 2 bosses. And they soak experience all 3 lanes. They're about to catch up in experience. If they get curse here, they could threaten keeps. In fact, they're going to look to rotate mid to grab this experience. That catch-up experience is going to put them closer to 20. Then Team BlossoM. This Wizard Camp, or the Wizard Minion, the Knight Camp, is going to do a lot to slow this down.
The Knight ones are coming, and because the boss has been onto the bot lane and top lane, it'll be fully, the pressure will be towards, we're working for Feliz so much more, and they have all the time to go work around the map, and also the next tribute will be working in favor because all that pressure, BlossoM needs to relieve that right now. And they do have globals, but it takes a lot of time. They soak up to 19. I think both teams will be hitting 20 very soon.
This is a favorable tribute for Feliz. If they can force the polybomb out early again, then I think they have a huge opportunity to win this fight once more. They've got good sustained damage to the Junkrat. BlossoM, on the other hand, needs to find a way in. We had a little bit of negative synergy there with the Emerald Wind and the Dragon Blade last fight as well. And Mosh Pit, obviously never used, still off cooldown. That could be a great way to zone in this fight. Medivh spots the entire position. There's no secrets on the side of Feliz. Aimer just looking for ETC. Sees him now. OJ putting himself out there. Brightwing, of course, can come in at any time. We can see the Genji dash for the massive Emerald Wind Bomb, the Brightwing Bomb, as it was called by the North American casters. An ample, they're a fitting name, I should say.
Tracer's onto the side, looking for any possibility to get the target. Best target would be, may actually be Brightwing or ETC even, if they get enough damage to do so.
Okay, they just do not find, they do not find a window to come through here. They run out of poke, and Feliz gets free curse here. That should not have happened, but basically Feliz didn't give them openings to go for a committed dive with the Brightwing Genji. And I think that they just mismanaged their cooldowns to interrupt this, but Brightwing was trying to get them 20 first to look for a 20 fight, and they just let the curse go through. I don't want to call this a throw, but this was definitely a mistake.
A giant mistake, the biggest mistake in this match for sure. They hit 20, and they can buy some time. Of course, it takes... They do have global, they do have wave clear, so it's not going to be the worst curse ever because there's nothing else pushing.
Yeah,
there's no camp, there's no boss, but here goes Wiz is very low. There's a sanctification used already. Dragon Blade really not finding any target yet.
Okay, Emerald Wind here with the ice block. Riptire comes out. Already Zeratul is dead, however. Dudu should be able to survive here. He's got the portal. He's going to have another deflect in a second. Tracer gets the pick though finally onto Wiz. The problem is this is during Curse, and Feliz doesn't get anything out of the Curse. Now they're staring down the barrel of BlossoM, who has also still Curse point. They used almost all their tools with the exception of the Twilight Dream, but they just don't have the poke. They don't have a comp, even with this Junkrat here, to finish this this keep off. So this Curse was wasted. It accomplished nothing for them. And BlossoM's suddenly back into this game. And this time it's blue side tribute. Let's see if Feliz can interrupt.
let's see. BlossoM's already positioning themselves already, even before the announcement, because they know that's going to happen very soon. Brightening, of course, will be split soaking from the side. I think better if she was pushing the top lane instead.
I agree. Tough for her to go up there, though. It's risky to traverse across the map. She is heading there, and she's taking the slower, safer path now. Boss is an opportunity for Feliz. 15 seconds for Sank. Things are about to get crazy, potentially. Oh my god, I don't think BlossoM realizes this rotation is happening. Gondar's a little bit out of position. Tracer shows bottom. They should realize this. Is this going to be worth it? In the long run, maybe. But in the short term, while Feliz is actually posturing for a better position on Boss and the Tribute, you know, that's the question we don't know the answer to yet. Feliz doesn't capitalize on this, though. Does not hard engage, because they didn't have vision also that they were doing the Siege Giant camp. They know now. Could be Boss is traded.
BlossoM is positioning right next to the Boss. I think they might have time. That's why Tyrael and Tracer is next to them, just to put the pressure on. See, they're running right towards the Tribute that's going to spawn soon. The announcement will be coming out very soon, and they have to keep an eye for that Boss anytime.
I think the window of time to Boss for Feliz is gone now. The Tribute should be announced any second, right now. So I cannot believe also that Feliz wasn't being more proactive about making sure the BlossoM wasn't bossing, because that was another risk. Okay, Polybomb means no Sank. No Sanctification in this fight. Mosh Pit here whiffs, but it zones enough. And that's basically, they were willing to commit 2 heroics here to guarantee Curse. Curse plus Boss equals end is what BlossoM is thinking right now.
But this isn't the end. When Tyrael comes back, they still have everything in their hands. They have Riptire, they have Twilight Dream, Sanctification is still available. They will have one final chance when everything's under the Curse. Let's see how they want to do it. Okay, they're cleaning up the top pressure with the Golem. It has been working out for BlossoM. Let's see how far they want to go out and stop that Boss from happening.
Alright, there's a lot of things that could go wrong for BlossoM here if they overextend. But 50 seconds is easily enough time to carefully poke down this keep. That would give them a significant advantage, but ending the game, that's where they need to be careful, because like you said, Sank is still up. They will have Twilight Dream, the same kind of comps, or the same kind of sort of comp that destroyed them in the previous set. Gondar taking a lot of damage here, does get away. They want to end this game. Boss under attack here already. Gondar again taking so much damage from Junkrat. He's so low. Narzim allowing him to come back in. Polybomb though, gonna counter this. Hanaten goes down 2 great polybombs in a row. Boss working on the core here. Everyone is very low on the side of BlossoM, but the Boss I think is just doing too much damage at 22 minutes into the game. They are gonna rush down this core. Close game number 2, but we are gonna go to a tied series 1-1. BlossoM will come back and win it. There's